Hello, Apple Luna. I'm so excited to do this reading for you because I love your aura so much, and I'm so glad that I can finally talk to you, kind of, and just let you know that you are the best. You have been so sweet. Your readings are just incredible, and me and Better Left Unspoken always have so much fun in your lives, and we just love being there with you, and we love your energy. So I just want to start by saying that, and thank you for all that you do. So with your aura, I kept hearing a color and I kept seeing a color, and it was very specific, and I never think about this color ever, which is weird. I mean, I think about this color often, but the word specifically, mauve, it's never like a color I would say out loud, but it was a very specific color, and it was so hard for me to pinpoint. Like, I was trying to find pictures online of things that kind of matched that color, or that aesthetic at least, and it was impossible to find. I could see it in my head, but finding a real life version of this color was really difficult. It was like a nice, like a muted blush, but also with a mix of like maroon, mahogany, a little bit of like coffee, natural colors. There were some pops of purple in there, like amethyst and rose gold was coming through. It felt very gentle and very nurturing and feminine, but like classy feminine. But I also noticed something when I was drawing out your aura. I started to notice these little figures, and they started to look like eyes. And I thought that was really cool, because then I started to see wings, and I was like, oh my gosh, these look like biblical, it's always so hard for me to say, biblically accurate angels. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of those. They're really cool, and I could not stop seeing that in your aura. And I think that you definitely have a very prophetic energy, which is really cool, because I'm about to get into something that blew my mind. If you have any connection to the goddess Phoebe, or sorry, she is a Titaness. But I realized, because I was looking at different goddesses, and I was looking at them by name and what they rule and like what powers they have, and Phoebe really stood out to me, and I didn't know what she was the ruler of prior to this, but the name Phoebe, was like, yep, that's the one. And so I look at it and I read it, and it says that she is a Titaness of prophecy and the moon, and I was like, that makes so much sense, and of also intellect. And then she's the grandmother of Artemis, which Artemis was the other one that I was going to compare your energy to, which she is the goddess of wild animals and hunting and chastity, and also the moon. And I even read that she did go by Luna sometimes. So I definitely feel like you have a strong connection to Phoebe and Artemis, the Titaness and the goddess. I was also getting a few random downloads, so they came up pretty chaotically, I guess is the best way I can put it. Very random. So the numbers 6 and 7 might be significant to you. There might be significant people in your life who are a Taurus or a Sagittarius or a Scorpio. I feel like there's also something significant about the year 1969, and also something significant could have happened to you when you were 14. I don't know why that's coming through, but something, I feel like there was something kind of traumatic for you when you were 14 up until you were 16. I think that was a very transitional point for you. And then I feel like once you turned 17, I don't know why this is coming through like a story right now, but something changed in you where things started to get better. Something shifted, something changed. There was a big tower moment for you. But things started to clear up for that time once you were 17. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know what that's referring to. It could have been something with a family member, particularly a father figure. So let me know if that is accurate. I don't know exactly what it is, so I'm not going to, throw out any specifics. But if there is something that happened, you would know what it is, so let me know. So also, I do want to mention that when I do aura readings, if you've watched some of my videos, you probably know, or have heard me at least talk about it. So I look at the colors that are present in your aura, but I also look for the colors that are not present. So with yours, I wasn't seeing any blue, and I wasn't seeing any orange or yellow. Primarily, there wasn't any of those colors. And so when I see a lack of color, I kind of associate that with our chakras and what energy is out of alignment. So for you, seeing that there was no blue or there was no orange or yellow, I feel like there is maybe some difficulty or just some challenge surrounding how you express yourself, and potentially a fear of expressing yourself in terms of your, honestly, potentially your feminine energy. I think that there was a lot of feminine colors coming through, and it felt like feminine energy, and it still does, but I think that there is this barrier, a mental barrier, and you might potentially struggle with showing your more feminine side. But it feels very physical, like physically you show up in the world as very feminine. But how do you express that femininity? I feel like maybe you were taught or just conditioned to believe that you weren't allowed to talk about your feelings. You weren't allowed to talk about like sexuality, intimacy, really anything that had to do with your feminine side. And so there might be a blockage there when it comes to not only how you express that side of you vocally, but in your everyday life, like with your creativity. There might be subconscious blockages there, and you feel as though it's a waste of time, maybe. It's not. It's absolutely not. But if at some point in your life you were conditioned to believe that it was a waste of time to be creative, to be expressive, to be emotional, if emotions weren't seen as productive or beneficial, then there could definitely be some blockages there and some hesitation to actually get in touch with that side of yourself. I hope that makes sense. I also get this feeling that you might hold on to this idea that there is a right and a wrong way to express yourself with both feminine and masculine energy. Like, I think that's why there's a lack of the orange and yellow, is because your expression and the way that you express yourself, I think that you're so worried about how it's coming across to people. And I don't think this is an ego thing. I just think that you have a fear of expressing yourself, potentially, and you just want to get it right. And I know that you are a Virgo, so that does make sense, because you might be a perfectionist. You might have a tendency to wait until you know that the way that you're going to express yourself is the right way before you even start to do it. And so that can lead to a lot of solar plexus and sacral chakra blockages later on in life, because you were never given that opportunity and you never felt comfortable expressing that side of yourself and expressing your creativity from a place that feels good in your heart. You were never vocal about what you needed and what you wanted, and it was okay to express those things, but you never felt like it was okay to express those things. And so after holding on to those things for so long, it can harbor resentment, it can lead to insecurity and never feeling really sure about yourself and never feeling that real sense of confidence, because you want to express yourself from a place that feels good to you. There's no right or wrong way to express yourself. If it feels good, it feels good. And I was also getting a scent with your aura, which is rare for that to happen in readings that I do, but for yours, it was specific. And there was a lot of specifics in your reading, which I thought was really cool. It was like a smell of hydrangea and cedar wood. So relaxing. And I would never think to combine those scents because it doesn't seem like they would go together, but it totally works for your aura. There's also something significant about a red door. I don't know what this is, but I was seeing specifically a red door in the middle of the woods, connected to nothing else, just a bright red door. It wasn't open, it was just in the forest, standing on its own. So I'm not sure what that's about, but I felt called to mention it because it was coming through very strongly. And I feel like if there is kind of these blockages in your sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, and your throat chakra, I have a feeling that it would really help you to just say your thoughts out loud, to just speak out loud. It doesn't have to be to somebody, it can just be by yourself. You can be in the middle of the woods if you want. But find a place where you're comfortable and just say everything out loud without any judgment, without any hesitation. Just let anything that comes through come through. And I feel like if you were to do this every day until, everything that you are thinking that you would normally be too hesitant to say out loud, once all of that is out, you feel like for the day, you can start your day with it or end your day with it. I just feel like doing that at least once a day is going to really help you to feel confident in what you're feeling, but also to express what you're feeling. And to be honest, I might actually take that advice for myself. I've never even heard anybody say to do that, but it seems like it would work really well. And I'm someone who also struggles to voice my opinions, and I don't think that you necessarily struggle to voice them, but you might be hesitant in terms of like what's okay to say and what's not okay to say. But I think just unleashing that belief and that fear, just whatever, I'm going to say it because I need to say it, and however you take that, that's up to you. And at the end of the day, like, I said it, and that's all that matters, because you can't hold on to stuff and harbor that resentment with someone else because you weren't able to say, or you didn't feel comfortable enough to say what needed to be said. I also feel like you're somebody who's rooted very much in truth, but you have a tendency maybe to see things and see the truth as negative, or you have kind of a pessimistic view of the truth. So I think speaking out on how you're feeling about things might also help you to see from a different perspective. Like, once you hear it out loud, it's almost like you're hearing it from someone else who's saying it, and that gives you a different perspective because you can actually work off that energy bouncing back at you. If you try saying it to a mirror, mirrors are reflections, but they also reflect energy, so they're going to bounce back whatever you say at it. So maybe saying that to yourself and then hearing it after it bounces back at you, that might give you a different perspective on things if you need a different perspective, So I've never heard that. Like I said, I've never heard someone say it that way, so I definitely feel like that might help out. And I'm also going to take that advice and see if it helps. And then maybe we can let each other know how it's going. So we're going to do something really fun with your aura, because I can't explain this like feeling that I get, but it feels like your energy is from the movie Maleficent. It feels very, what's the word, like fantasy-like. It's like fairy tale, that's the word. It's very fairy tale-esque. So anyway, we are going to do this fun thing that I like to do. I normally have a little bag that I pull from with these labels on it, but I don't have those with me right now, so I went ahead and made a little wheel to spin. So there's 2 wheels that I'm going to be spinning, and basically this is going to help us figure out what your mythical identity would be and how it correlates to your aura. So we'll start with this one. You'll see how it goes as we go along. So let's start. I knew it. Okay. Yay. I knew it. I called it. Did I not? Okay. So there's the first one. And now the fun part is that we have all of these things that you could be the angel of. I'm going to pick 2 of them and we will just see what comes through. So let's start with the first one. Whoa. Okay. Cool. Okay, Angel of Souls and one more. That is so cool. That makes so much sense too. I love how it just works out that way. So I just wanted to let you know real quick. I know that this is really chaotic and it's kind of all over the place. It's usually not this jumbled, but I don't know why it's going this way. I feel like it's happening very fast, and if you haven't like seen my channel before, there's probably some things that are happening that you're like, what is going on? So I did want to explain a little bit about the wheel thing. So I originally had that idea for a reading that I did in the past, but it's rare that I do it for like personal readings unless I feel called to. So I felt called to do that for you. The reading that I originally posted was literally your mythical identity aura, and so I pulled a identity for each pile, and whatever pile you picked, that was going to be your mythical identity, and then I drew an aura based off that. But also ignore my nails, they are sad. I say ignore them and I'm like, look at them. They're so awful. So not only did I use that identity to draw out the aura, but I also went ahead and put that identity into an AI image generator just to see how that identity and how that aura would look. And I did it with yours. And let me tell you, it is so freaking cool. You're gonna love it, I think. And honestly, like, it kind of looks like you, which was wild to me. Like, I'll just show you. So this is what came through when I put in Angel of Souls and Intuition. But with all that being said, this is your finished aura. I think it's so pretty. I love it. It fits your vibe so well. I did also notice in I did also notice afterwards that there were these little dragonflies up here, and I think dragonflies are definitely a symbol for you. There's so much to look at in this aura, and I feel like if you took the time to like sit and just observe every little detail about it, like I keep finding new things in it and new patterns, and it's just so beautiful, and I just love it so much. And I hope that you like it. I hope that you like this reading. Let me know if it resonated for you. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I just also want to say thank you again for everything that you do and allowing a space for me and Better Left Unspoken and everybody else that joins your readings a chance to just be safe and have fun and receive wisdom and guidance from you. And yeah, I will talk to you probably in your next live. Whenever I see you, I'll let you know about this and I'll upload this as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope that you have a week as beautiful as you. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Bye!